Good morning and welcome to another chapter, a new chapter with the mathematics called data handling. So, data handling is when you go into stats or when you want to just summarize data, you are going to use this chapter where we look at the central tendencies of how to represent data. So, when you want to do research or you want to have a certain finding of something, you will collect your data by means of a survey. So, um, let's just say, okay, we asked every child in the school how many pets do they have, and you went and you conducted a survey, and all the results came back. The way you represent your data is going to be so boring and not going to be very well received if you're going to say, my findings were child number 1 had 4 pets, child number 2 had 3 pets, child number 3 had 4 pets. Okay, so you need to summarize your data to give your audience an overview of what you found. Okay, you need to summarize. You have to be quick. You have to say, come, no, you just give your findings and what is the summary that you found from that. Okay, so we are basically going to summarize a lot of data by means of the mean, median, mode, and range. And if you think of mean, you would say, oh, but ma'am, don't we always just use the mean? The mean is the average. We don't always use the mean. If you think of working in a shoe store and you need to order new stock, would you use the average or would you rather work with the mode, the one that was required the most? Okay, but let's just see. So it's not always that we use the mean. We use any of these 4 central tendencies, and let's quickly have a look what each one is about. Okay, so the mean is the average. So if you have lots of data and you want to just give the average, that is the mean. And how do you find the mean? Is by saying, "Ooh, ma'am, it's mean of you to ask me to add all these numbers and then to divide with how many there are." Okay, so you're going to add all the sets of data and divide with how many there were, and that would give you the average, which is the mean. Then the median is the one in the middle. Okay, so very, very important. You need to always put your data in order from smallest to biggest. And the word that we use there is ascending. Place your data in ascending order. Okay, so from small to big. If an aeroplane takes off, he ascends, and when he goes down, he descends. So going up small to big, so very important, put your data in order. So it's the one in the middle. And if there's 2 in the middle, you find the middle of those middles. Okay, so if there's a 3 and a 4 in the middle, then you will say 3 plus 4 and you divide it by 2 to give you 3.5. Okay, so you find the middle of the middle if there's 2 numbers in the middle. The mode, very easy, is the one that comes forth the most. If there are 2 or more modes, you write them down next to each other. So let's say 2 and 4 came forth the most times, but they also came across the same amount of times. Then you will say the mode is 2 and 4. If there's no mode, please write no mode. You can't write 0 because 0 is a number, and that is a number or some sort of representation of data. So you cannot use 0, but you have to use no mode. And the range is the biggest number that you can see minus the smallest number that you can see. Okay, very, very important. Like I said, you have to always arrange your data from small to big. Okay, let's quickly have a look at the mean. The mean is the average. Oh, ma'am, it's mean of you to ask me to add all these numbers and to divide with how many there are. So if I say to you this example, you ask the class how many pets they have and recorded the following data. So 2, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 5. Those are the amounts of pets that your classmates had. So you add them all together. 2 plus 2 plus 3 plus 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 5 plus 2 plus 0, etc., etc. And you divide with how many there were. So if you count all those blocks, you will see that there's 15, and 15 in 2 rows makes 30. So you divide your answer by 30. So that gives you on average that there's 1.6 pets per student. Then the median is the number in the middle, and it has to be organized. Your data has to be organized from small to big. So if you look at the following data, you will see that the set has an odd number of answers. So let's just quickly have a look with an odd number of answers. I always put my fingers. So if you take your fingers and you place it on 10 and 47, so start and end, and then you jump one to the middle, jump one with your left hand, jump one with your right hand. So if you've got 10 and 47, jump 20, 45, jump 23, 43, jump 33, 40, jump 34, 37. So you will see when you've got an odd number of data set, you will only find one median, one middle, okay, and that is 35. But when you have an even set of numbers, so again, just take your two fingers, 15 and 49, place them on there, jump 1 to 23 to 45, jump 33 to 41, jump 35 to 41, and you will see that the two numbers in the middle is 39 and 40. So very important, we want to find the middle of the middle. So you add the two, please press equal, 39 plus 40 equals, and then you divide your answer by 2. Lots of you will write 39 plus 40 divided by 2, and then your answer will give you 59. And you can see that 59 is definitely not the middle there. Okay, so the middle of the middle, which will give you 39.5. The mode is the one that comes forth the most. Okay, if there are no mode, if there are more than one number that comes forth the most, you write them all down. I've spoken about that. And if all the numbers come forth the same amount of times, you will have to write no mode. Okay, if all the numbers come forth all the same amount of times, so which means there's not one standing out. All of them just come forth the same amount of times. If there's one that is a little bit more than the others, or just one more than the others, then that is your mode. Again, you cannot write 0, as 0 is a number and can form part of a data set. So please don't write 0 as your answer if there's no mode. Okay, an example here. The mode is an actual fact 0. So if you have a look and count all the zeros, you will see that the zeros are, they come across far more than any other number there. And the mode then, in fact, here is 0, because 0 forms part of the data set here. Okay, an example of finding the mode over here. Can you see that not one number comes forth more than once? Okay, so the answer is no mode. And the last one, such an easy one, the range. It's always the biggest number that you can see minus the smallest number. So over here, if you have a look, the biggest number that you can find there is 5, and the smallest one is 0. So 5 minus 0 is 5. So the range of the number of pets that the students had were 5 pets. Okay, so that also comes across when you look at class tests. And I saw that if your range was quite big, it means that the person who achieved the best mark and the person who achieved the least or the least mark or the smallest mark is if it's largely apart, then the range will be big. But if the person who achieved the most and the person who achieved the least is not so far apart, then the range would be smaller. Okay, so the range just tells us how far apart do the highest set of data lie to the lowest answer of my set of data. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so please, please, please copy this into your book so that you can understand, that you can remember all these different central tendencies. The mean, oh ma'am, it's mean of you to ask me to add all these numbers and to divide with how many there are. The median is the one in the middle. The mode is the one that comes forth the most. And the range is the biggest minus the smallest. Okay, thanks for watching. Enjoy your day. Cheers.